I want to start with law and intelligence. I've said to you that at its base, there are two things in this universe: love and intelligence. If you will look at the universe, if you will look at it, remove the people from the thing. If you will look at it, you will see that it is divine intelligence. Everything follows law. Everything generally follows law except man, because man is an emotional, habitual creature. Because he is intelligent, or has the possibility of intelligence, and uses emotionalism and habitualism, he's lost. Most everything is screwed up. But that's okay, because that's a part of getting wiser. Can't get wiser unless you've been stupid. The problem is remaining stupid. That's the problem. Now, part of what I do is to encourage thought. Not having thought, but thinking. To expand one's use of intelligence. I talked about the big, quote, bang. I've talked about black holes. I've talked about how it all began. These are all laws. And what was hoped is that we would investigate those laws and see how they work within us and within all things. You see, we talk about study. To study something is to truly look at it and truly get involved in it. A lecture. People will say, well, Alon, I put the lecture on while I'm doing this, while I'm cleaning the house, while I'm doing this, as if I am to be impressed by that. I am not, because this is not study. Study is listening to it. What does that mean? Most often I will tell you what it means. I have to say then, how does it mean that? Example, Big Bang. Big Bang. Boom. I described it as so much energy happening in a moment, in that congealed time-space, that all of a sudden that movement is trying to happen, and it happens until it builds up enough energy, and poof. At that moment, it is so hot, there is no form. I explained this some time back as time one. Time two was the point where this energy cooled down and became the basis of form, the basis of the elements: hydrogen, helium, form. Now, first statement about this. It set the principle that everything happens from the inside out. Bang. The energy within caused what is out here to happen. Everything that happens from the inside out. To be screwed up happens from the inside out. To get clear happens from the inside out. Has absolutely nothing to do with the outside in. Because what you perceive of as the outside is really inside of you. What you perceive of them as doing is you putting clothing on someone else's actions that you cannot know. The crust. If you will look at truth, the energy that happens within, as it moves away from its center, it cools and forms a crust. Everything, if you look at it, if you cut the earth in half, what do you see at the center? The energy, the core, the energy of it. The energy, then the gaseous level, then the mass level, and then the hard crust. You look at a tree. The tree has rings. Everything grows from the center out. Another thing I've said to you is that intelligence, a God comes into this thing through fire. The breakdown of mass into intelligence. So at that center, this is where, in the beginning, bang, there was no matter, there was only energy. This is the intelligence. You have very short vibrational frequencies and very long vibrational frequencies. As it moves from the center, you have longer vibrational frequencies, which account for mass. Short vibration. The shorter you go, you move from mass to the form, that thing that forms mass, to the next shortest is thought, and the next shortest is the intelligence, the creative intelligence. You call it God or whatever you want to call it. That is the shortest. Now these short frequencies can only be experienced as feelings because they're too short. The longer they become, they are experienced as form. So, at the center is divine intelligence. At the center of everything, at your center, at the center of a tree, at the center of the earth, no matter how large the thing is or how small, at its center is divine intelligence. This thing that you call the universe is divine intelligence. At its center is intelligence. As it has moved away and formed a limit in this universe, a crust, okay, it formed where you live and still is being fed by that divine intelligence. Every cell in your body is shaped the same way. Intelligence comes through every cell in your body. Differently because it's focused differently. But it is the same law. There is basically one law that runs through everything. The idea is to see that law and to begin to live by that law. It appears differently depending on the observer. You take water. Look at a large body of water, it appears flat. So the forces in that water appear to flatten the surface. But if you take a drop of water, it's rounded. The same forces shape the water. It's just the different size. If you had a subatomic or a very tiny animal living in that spherical water, it would think everything in that the laws of that water were spherical. Larger doesn't see it that way. But it's the same law seen by different creatures or different perceptions. So the idea, man is the one that contains all the vibrational frequencies pertaining to life in form. You have mineral form, okay? It has shape. You have plant form, or vibration, that is plant. It searches for food. It digests. You have animal. With the animal searches for food. It has form, so it has the mineral. It has plant, because it searches for food and digests. It has emotions. It has feelings, which separates it from the plant in that way. Then you have man, which encompasses all these, but you have the ordinary man. The epitome of the ordinary man you call genius. Okay? But there's another level of vibrational frequency. You call that prophet. Prophet, like Moses, not prophet like money.
It's not Donald Trump you're talking
No, it's not Donald Trump. He of the bad hair. Then the final one is the God-man. Only that one contains all of those things that are below, or have actualized the things that are below that. So you have all these frequencies going on. Now, everything else in the universe has its frequency, or pulsation. So and the universe itself has its pulsation. So there are all these frequencies just flying all over the place. Now, what your eye does, what your ear does, what your nose does, what your five senses does, whatever. What they do is within the limitations of them, sense all of these vibrational frequencies. Make a picture in here that is close to purity. But when it's filtered through your insecurities, your doubts, your fears, your assumptions, it becomes a lie, and one cannot live in truth. So one's life is constantly in turmoil. To live with truth, everything, and its essence seeks to return to its source. A couple of ways to do that. We'll get to the other one later. Physically, it makes a crust. Skin, the outer layer of a cell, the crust of the earth, whatever. But that energy at its source seeks to draw it back into its source. That is why when you look at stars, stars collapse, explode, collapse again. Because it is the energy that draws them back toward the source. Now what you have to have is a balance between the crust and the source. That we call life. That is the place we live, in that balance. If we don't have the balance, then it's all screwed up. This throws it out of balance, so we live out of balance lives. Okay? Ultimately, as the black hole, it will suck everything back to the center, back to the source. That's what the black hole does. It takes all this matter and brings it back. When the crust can no longer hold it, when the balance between the call back home and the source is no longer in balance. all the way back down. We call it death. And then bang, again. What I'm describing to you is laws, and laws you must live by. Laws you must accept. Because, see, when you accept living by these laws, you live differently. You live to solve problems, not make problems. You live to make it a better place, not contribute to it being a place of confusion. You do that only when you acknowledge the law that is yourself and stop living against the law that is yourself. Some would say the laws of God. I say that's not true. I would say the law that is God. There's a difference. One is the possessive. God does not possess the law. God is the law. If you call it God or whatever you call it, what do you call it, the creative principle? It doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is that you see and understand the principle. Because you are the principle. That very thing that I just described to you about the Big Bang and how from the center, everything happens from the center. Everything that you are happens from your center. And the center of each and every cell. I made the statement before. You are the center of the universe. There's no need to look for the center. You are the center. Now, there's an interpretation of that statement by an ego tripper and a person who just looks for the truth. There's a difference. The ego tripper has colored it and takes a false sense of importance. An ego tripper is a person who is insecure and puts up a front to be something else. Therefore, takes on the coloration and lives the lie. Well, you can't live the lie. There is wrong. There's no such thing as right. Something just is. Now, if you go against what just is, you're wrong. It's just what it is. You don't try to be God because that makes it a lie. You don't know what it means, so you try to be something. Try to be something you don't know, so you can't be it. You're providing a lie for yourself. Just be yourself. When you try to have this kind of personality or that kind of personality, it's a lie. When it's a lie, you live that way, you bring that to your environment. The other liars see you and they know the liar when they see it. So you have a problem. There's a problem between the liars. I am what I am. I've tried to explain and try to set this up in this way. Lose the ego trip, because that's the only way you can just be what you are. That is the only way. Doing other things, you cannot be what you are, and cannot encourage others to just be what they are. You can only encourage them to be liars. You can only support them in their lie. Just be what you are. Now, When we talk about being what we are, we talk about being what that initial intelligence is. I don't have to put you down. What I have to do is just tell you the truth. And observe that person who lives the lie become upset simply because you told them the truth. Now, what do I have to say about that internally? Nothing. I have nothing to say about it. I see it, but it's not a good thing or a bad thing, as far as I'm concerned. It's just what they do. What I have to decide is, do I want to do that with them? Personally. That doesn't mean I can't work with them. It doesn't mean I can't, if they've got teaching something that I need, okay, give me that, here you go, here's what you want, give me that A, give me that piece of paper, I'm done with you. See you. I have that piece of paper that says PhD, and the rest of the fools go PhD. And I go, okay, whatever. No. I'm suggesting an attitude, not a saying. Okay? You follow? I'm not saying, well, okay, do. No. There's nothing there. I think Kevin asked me a question. I forget what the question was, but I remember the answer. The answer is, I don't hold on to anything. I'm just present. I'm just here. You ask me a question, the answer comes. If I see something, the answer comes. I don't have to walk around holding anything. This is this is that, this is the other. I'm just there. The woman on the plane kept asking me yesterday, are you all right? Yes, I'm fine. Why? You're so still and so quiet. I didn't have anything to do. I'm on an airplane. You got the seat belt sign on. I was just sitting here, listening, watching, inside, quietly. You see, that's what happens when you come away from the ego trip. It's just there. That intelligence comes into you as the intelligence comes into what you call the universe. What you call the universe, intelligence comes inside of it. Intelligence has shaped it. So it in itself is intelligent and filled with intelligence, filled with the answers, filled with the laws. You have to live by those laws in order to be in concert with it. Something changes, you ride the change. It's changed. It's different. You ride it. Part of the problem, the ego wants to go against what's changing. And the law is, if you will look from the very moment of the beginning of time, beginning of time, from that moment, each moment thereafter is change. It goes from absolute intelligence to the basis of physical reality to physical reality and ultra-physical reality. Each of those points is change. So the law is change. So what one must do is accept change and work with the change. Work with the change and be at peace. That way you go and you grow with the universe itself. With it itself. When you go against it, you're asking for trouble. That's the way it is. You go with it or against it. With it, it's the law. Everything. Look at the law of creation. Intelligence comes into it. Boom! What happens when the sperm hits an egg? Boom! Something new is formed. The intelligence comes into, the activity comes into the receiver. Bam! The law. It doesn't say that one is not God and the other. Don't get stupid. Just see it cleanly for what it is. This is the cleanness of the law. Bang! Something new is created. That is the law. The law is simple. It's clean. We can get too damn smart, especially when we get into racism, feminism, all that. We can get pretty stupid because we don't realize that our insecurities are governing those things and does not allow us to see what is true. Look cleanly at the law. The law is the law, is the law, is the law, is the law. We either accept it or we reject it. Because we are greater than the law. This is not how I want it to be. The law doesn't seem to care. It goes on. I was asked the question about, I said, wow, you're getting, physically you seem to be getting better and better. God, you're going to be young again. No, I just want to be the best I can be at this point in time. Not trying to reverse the clock. That would be stupid. I'm not 25. I am not 25. I'm not going to be 25. Don't want to be 25. Just the best I can be right here, right now. I'm going with the law. With the law. I've had questions asked of me. Can I do this? No. Can I do this? No. Can I do this? Okay. I did it. What do you think? Nothing. Why not? Because I told you no in the first place. You want to go against the law. No is the law. No. No is the law. But like little children, see, we haven't overcome that, Mommy, can I, and they give in. We think that that's the way the law works. It doesn't. It doesn't acquiesce to anyone. It is just the law. What I try to do is reflect the law. May I? No. No. Go ahead. Look at what I did. Whoop-de-doo. Don't care. Don't care. Because I'm teaching. Do you want to learn? That's the issue. That's the only issue. That is the only issue. When you go against that law, when you fight against that law, when you force the law, you're asking for trouble. When you force it. We have to understand that to ride the law is not the same as trying to tame the law, trying to force it. No. I was sick. It was just very difficult to even get up. The law of contraction was getting me down. At a point, there's a moment. The law of contraction had a gap in it. One way to keep from losing something is to use it. Get up, start to work it. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, better. Get to a point. I'm not getting any stronger. Force it? No. Work right here. And watch for the shift. Watch for the point where the law says, okay, you step through that point. Okay, strong enough, but something is missing. Still staggering a lot when I walk. Everybody thinks I'm a drunk. Okay. Enough time, okay, back in the pool. Walk that straight line in the bottom, strengthen those muscles as best you can. Don't stagger as much anymore. Wow, okay. Something's missing. Kind of a lack of quickness there. Okay. All right. A lack of quickness. Problem. Where is the solution to a problem? In the problem. How do I engage the nervous system? Jumps. What's an easier way to do jumps? Aha! Hopscotch. So here I am, 70-plus-year-old man in the gym doing hopscotch. Everybody's like, some of the quickness is returning. My point, see, at each point, see, the law is use it. At each point, it's being used until that other way of looking at the law reveals itself, then you use it that way. And then that other way of using the law reveals itself, you use it that way. That's how you ride the law. You have to look for it. You have to be there. You have to be present. Am I being clear? Okay. To understand. The most important thing is to understand. You overcome stuff by understanding it, not by beating it to death. Not by trying to drive a square peg in a round hole, or the reverse. But by understanding. The only way you understand is with openness. Openness. Without the crust of what you already think you know. That crust of what you think you know prevents you from seeing more. We get to a point we start ego tripping. I got this, and I'm, la 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 la. It's up to you. It's up to you. Everything happens, the law is, everything happens from the inside out, not from the outside in. The world as you see it makes sense of a soup of vibrational frequencies. It's not out here, it's in here. Do you even realize that the way you're seeing things is not the way it is? That it's actually upside down. And your brain turns it so that it appears to be the way it is now. It's real simple. Do you realize, and I've said this before to you, there is no such thing as color. But yet you accept, oh, he's got on a blue shirt and blue pants, and she's got on gray socks and a peach top, and I'm saying to you, color doesn't exist. It is the frequency your brain takes and tells you, this is what you see. Out here, it doesn't exist. Doesn't that make you think? The world is not from here to this way. It's from this way out. From this way out. What do you see? Say what you see. And then say, oh, this is me, what I'm seeing. I went in a restaurant. There's one of my favorite New York restaurants. It's a chocolate restaurant. Everything in there is chocolate. Except the teas. Tea is not chocolate. Go in. The waitress comes over. I called her by name. Like, my God. You knew my name? I forgot her name now. You knew my name? Yes. Wow. That guy knew my name. And the person who was with me went, wow. She's not wearing a name tag. How did you know her name? Because when I walked in the door, somebody in the back said, hey, Carla. And she said, what? I was paying attention. I was present. From here out. So hello, Carla. It must be magic. Well, the magic of paying attention. Oh my God, yes, yes. Oh, you are truly magical, sire. No. She called your name. I didn't say that, but I also said to her, I said, you're from India. Your parents are from India. But you were born here. How did you know? Because you're an Indian that speaks with a Brooklyn accent. Yo! Yo, Bino! It wasn't hard. Paying attention. Paying attention. Letting it do what it does purely. See, now the answer is, the thing is, it's filtered purely when you don't have all that crap going on. When you don't have all these opinions and things going on. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. The law is just what it is. So when we find ourselves at odds with the law, you either change and ride the law or pay the price of pain. It's simple. Now, The object in this thing, in this game, is peace. All I'm doing in here is pointing to peace. Now, there are many things, many offshoots of all kinds of things that go on in this universe that we can get caught up in. Don't. It's about you being at peace. You stop disturbing the waters and be at peace. If the water is calm and what naturally drops into it makes ripples, then we see it just for what it is. But if the water is not calm, what drops into it is judged by the ripples that are already there. And we don't see what really is going on. And we come off looking not so good. We come off causing problems for ourselves. It's just what it is. What did you think of the political? I don't care. I know that this group's philosophy tends this way. I know that this group's philosophy had us in the black, had us, people had jobs, everybody got a job, everybody party, everybody got money. And this group's philosophy, when they got in, everybody got poor. A few people at the top went, we got money, we got money. Anything else either one of you's got to say, I don't need to hear. What I need to know is we were in the black, we were in the red. I'm going with being in the black. That can go more than one way, couldn't it? Huh, okay. Anywho. Keep it simple. We just keep it simple. I learned something. There are 11 guys in America, well, maybe 11 families, multi-billionaires who fund campaigns and pretty much own America. There are 350 million people. So that means 349,999,989 people being affected by 11 people. It's arithmetic, stupid. Why don't we recognize that? Because we're not dealing with the issue cleanly. There are too many other things. Well, you got this and you got... No. This. Well, you see our, quote, intelligence. We sound intelligent. But it's being run through our egos and what we think we know and all that. So, here we are. Here we are. Because we are not keeping it simple. It's as simple as that. We don't keep the law simple. You follow me? So we like to cover it with fluff and make it this, that, and the other. One of the reasons we don't look directly at what our personal problem is, we got too much justification to justify why I do what I do. Bullshit. It's simple. You do what you do out of habit. Simple as that. When you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's a habit. Simple as that. One of the things I've said to you in the beginning, I stripped this thing down for you. I made it as simple and as easy as it can be. What do you want to do? Well, I want to go over here and I want to do this. I said to a person Thursday when I got to New York, what the hell is wrong? Well, see, I signed up to go to this Buddhist retreat. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? What do you mean? I told you how simple this whole thing is. Why is it you refuse to do that, but you want to go play Buddhist? You know, and I know you know. So cut the crap. I'm just running, aren't I? Yes. You don't cut the crap with me. I'm looking at you. I see you. Don't bullshit me. No, you can't. Because I keep it simple. All the fluff and all the stuff and this and that and the other and blah, yeah. All the Jesus, and somebody said, what do you think of the Dalai Lama? I don't think anything of the Dalai Lama. Why not? What's the Dalai Lama got to do with me? Just when I see him, I want to go, well, hello, Dalai. So nice to see you back where you belong. You're looking swell, Dalai. What's the Dalai Lama got to do with me? I am the center of the universe. You are the center of the universe. The truth exists right here, right now, right there, right there, right there, right here, right here. Should I wait for Jesus to come and bring it? He's been gone now a few years. 2013 years. I don't think he's coming back. What is coming back, or what is already here, is the truth that he was, the truth that you are, the truth that I am, the truth that all is. That's here now. Right here, right now. So, the person waiting on Jesus to come is lazy. Frightened child. The person waiting on somebody else to save them is lazy. They know. They know. They are lying. What is in you? The truth is there. All this has ever tried to do is to help you get there. That's all it's ever tried to do. How much have you denied yourself access to yourself? I've said it's not an intellectual pursuit. I've said that, I don't know, since 1973. And yet I hear, this is what I think. I don't know how many times I can say since 1973, it's not an intellectual pursuit. It's not about words. It's not about what you say. It's about what you do. It's about the doing. You see, when you come to that point where you operate from that center of intelligence and that center of love, you can't do it wrong. You cannot do it wrong. You can only do it right. Because it comes from that center. But when it comes from here, almost every time, it's going to be the wrong thing. Even when it appears, it wears the words of what is right, it will be wrong. I talked about, someone asked me the question about preachers. And I talk about misleading people. They said, but that's what's going to happen about that? I've said for 30 years, it's called karma. You get back what you put out. If you keep running into that wall, it's only because of what you put out. Again, from the inside out. Your thoughts, your attitude. Don't say you can lie. You can say whatever you want to say, but you can't lie to the universe. Because the vibrational frequency of what you put out vibrates and vibrates those things around you, and that is what you create. It comes from your center purely. But when it goes through this other stuff, your anger, your fear, your wanting to be more than what you are, it now becomes something else in that crust, and it creates these situations. Wow. But yet, because we don't want to understand, we blame others. And see, that's like losing your keys in the house and looking for them downtown. That doesn't make any sense. It's in here. And we have to know, we know the truth. We know the truth about ourselves. We know the truth whether we're doing it here or from that place of being. I have no problem with anyone or anything. I have no problem with it. I see it. I recognize what it's doing. It's like if you throw a ball, I recognize the motions and I recognize the flight of the ball. I recognize when it goes through Mrs. Johnson's window. Now you can say anything you want to say about it. You threw the ball through Mrs. Johnson's window. Well, and you threw the ball through Mrs. Johnson's window. That's all I know. As someone passing by, if I am asked to help you, don't lie. Don't make an excuse. Accept the responsibility. You threw the ball through the window. Don't try to make yourself look good. You threw the ball through the window. That's what you have to do with yourself, because you see, the idea is clearing up yourself. And think of how much mud, how muddy you're making everything by pretending the bullshit. How you're making for yourself. How you're making it for yourself. It's not going to always be as you think it should be. It's going to be as it is. Someone said to me, you know, I've seen a couple of things. I've seen you give, and I saw people devalue what you've done and have little attitudes. My point is, yeah, I know that. I give because of who I am. I give because of who I am. Not because of who they are. They want to give back, they give back. They want to devalue what I do and not give back, that's up to them. It's called, it will be, karmatic, karma. I will receive. Okay? I've learned how to eat frozen vegetables. Best thing I ever did. Best thing I ever did. Frozen vegetables, throw them in the blender. The rest of them don't spoil. Frozen berries, throw them in there. Little raw protein. Oh man, getting healthier and healthier. One of the things I learned many years ago was when I didn't have money to eat like I ordinarily would eat, I eat better. It's like, oh, that's what that's about. But my point is, I do because of who I am. Not because I expect something back. But I also am not blind to something not coming back. I'm not blind. Okay? But it doesn't matter to me. It matters to law. You follow what I'm saying?
Could you elaborate?
The law of karma. You get back what you put out. You get back if you're selfish, you are bombarded with selfish things. If you are, well, whatever you are, it comes back to you. If you're truthful, honest, that's what you'll get back, truthful, honest things. And when it's beating you over the head, accept that you fucked up.
Okay.
You examine who you are, what you are doing, what you believe. That's been what this whole thing has been about. You want peace? Then stop disturbing the peace. It's all about you. It's all about your center. And from your center comes the truth. Before it is poisoned by your opinion. From your center is the truth before it is poisoned by your opinion. Poisoned by selfishness. I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent. But you get back what you put out. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You have to decide, you know?
Can you define intelligence?
Can I define it?
Is it consciousness itself?
It's consciousness itself. And that you can't define. It is the ability to make sense of one's environment purely, I would say. Purely. And that is the purity of law. Because it's not real smart to go against the law. It's like, I'm going to stand out here in front of this car. I'm not moving. Bam! That wasn't real smart. Because purity of intelligence says car plus ass equals mess. You see what I'm saying? You go against the law. It's nasty. It's a nasty thing. You live with law, it's pretty cool. Peace. Peace of mind, peace of being. You say, well, I need people in my life. Really, do you? Why is that? Probably because you can't stay in your own company. You know, it's like one of the things that is most weird to me is being with people and they don't talk to me. They talk to their opinion of me. And I find that very strange. People who have known me for years, who have sat through these lectures, and I say, I am what I'm lecturing you about. And they bring me stupid. They say stuff to me that has nothing to do with me, and I just kind of go, Tune them out. They don't need me. They got a conversation going on with themselves. You see what I'm saying? Talk to me. You may not know who I am, but you know who I'm not. And I'm not that. You follow what I'm saying? Intelligence shows us how to do that. You know, I don't know what's going on in there. It's like there was a guy who was married, had 4 kids. Kids were teenagers. He went for a sonogram about gallstones. Well, when the sonogram came back, the person said, oh, this lady so-and-so. I said, lady? Let me see that. Turns out this man had ovaries and a uterus inside. But he had a penis and testicles. Now, what he finally said was, a load has been lifted off my mind. For all my life, I've had these feelings I didn't know what to do with. Okay. See, we would judge him if he had come out and said, I'm gay or whatever. Oh, so and so. This person had a uterus. But you know what his wife said? She went with the content of character. She said, this is the same person I fell in love with. This is the person I love. They went dress shopping together. Because of content of character. She went with who he was. You follow what I'm saying? So intelligence says that. Intelligence says, talk to me. Your opinion of me doesn't count. Don't you realize that's your bullshit? Wow. Evidently you don't, so see ya. Intelligence says, let's have a communication. Now, I say to those people who do that with me, who have been around me for years, where have you been? You mean after all this time, you don't know? After all this time, you really don't know who's in front of you. After all this time. I look like a duck, quack like a duck. I'm not a duck. There was a general who was commander of the European forces, air forces in Europe. He called a commander's call one day, and he said to all the black troops, "I'm one of you, but I ain't your kind." It was like, what? I'm a human being, but I'm not that kind. I'm not this kind. We can play the game. And as long as we understand we're playing this game and we're having fun and we're talking shit, cool. But if you start taking it seriously, See, I can tell a joke. It's a joke. I can tell a stupid, racist, homophobic joke. But you know what's funny to me? The stupidity of it. But if you think that I mean that, where have you been? I'm laughing at the joke. It's like Honey Boo Boo. People go, Honey Boo Boo is funny. Yep, I'm laughing at them, not with them. Honey Boo Boo has a pig that gets on the table. Okay. It's the same if I tell that joke. It's the stupidity of the joke. The stupidity of the joke. Don't think I mean that. That's knowing the difference. I'm saying to you, you must look at things cleanly. I look at things cleanly. I see who you are. I understand. It's okay. I understand whatever I understand. I see. It's okay. It's all right. I'm not going to judge you by that, but I most certainly will determine whether your action is an action that I want to spend a whole lot of time with. Sure. We all have the right to do that. We all have the right to do that. But even beyond that, I am perfectly, and this is what I'm saying to you, where you come to, I'm perfectly content with my own company. Doing what? Nothing. Sometimes there's nothing to do. Maybe that's part of the problem. We got too much to do in our brain. We ought to be doing something. Yeah, how about you ought to be sitting down, shutting up, resting. How about that? The flight attendant said to me, sir, would you like cookies? And I said, cookies. Brought me. I'm cool. No expression, not really. Cookies, yes. I take it you want cookies. Well, I'll get you some. Okay, cool. Being at peace. Being at peace. I don't remember stuff. Okay. So I don't remember. Can I do something about it? Nope. I don't remember if I can or not. I love that series. What was it, that place in Boston with Ted, the bartender, and Cheers, and Coach, before Coach died. Coach would always forget stuff and just kind of space out. He said, Coach, doesn't that bother you? Said, nope. Makes a nice break in the day. So I appreciate those breaks in the day. What did you say? I don't know. How is it I know the things that I know? Because I'm quiet and let it tell me. It shares with me. I share with me. It's more better said. I look. It tells me. It reveals. I see it. I don't say, why is it telling me that? I let it tell me. At some point, someone says, why so and so? And I say, XXXX. It is to be passive and allow intelligence to come into you as opposed to making intelligence happen. See, I've said the secret all along. Shh. We talk too much. That's the big secret. How? See, that doesn't sound important to you? How profound, how deep is that? You talk too much. Oh, great guru, tell me the secrets of the universe. Shut up. The secret is there's no secret. Stop talking. Listen. Stop talking in here. Pay attention. You can't hear when you're talking, and it is talking. What keeps you from hearing? Nothing. What keeps you from listening? You're talking. I heard you. Yeah, you heard the words falling on my ear, but what is the meaning of these words? What do these words point to? Well, you did so. What? You're talking and not listening. Even when we go and we're talking in here, we're still not listening. To be quiet. This whole thing is filled with information. The whole thing is filled with intelligence. Intelligence comes through every cell of your body. From the center, radiating to the center, to the crust. Everything. Do you know what that is? What the word for that is? Om. And is the name of God. Om. It's the shape. Every frequency has a shape. Be quiet. Listen. When you're quiet in your meditation and you hear, it's Om at a different pitch. Listen. Be quiet. When you walk, be quiet. Pay attention. Listen. Feel. You're in the midst of a great soup. Taste the soup. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day.